Franklin TV Sports presents Franklin High Boys Basketball. It is the undefeated Sharon Eagles in town for some Monday Night Hoops between your 5-1 Franklin Panthers. Hi, neighbors. I'm Ryan Martin, joined alongside by Nippon Goyle. And Nippon, this is a Sharon team that comes to Franklin High right now. It's been a tough team over the last 4 or 5 years, but this last two Eagles teams over the last 2 years have really shined so far under head coach Andrew Ferguson, and they're upset-minded now, coming to try to take down the Panthers finally.
Absolutely, Ryan. In his 9 years coaching the Sharon Eagles, Coach Ferguson has never beaten the Franklin Panthers, but he told us before the game tonight that this is their best shot. This is their best lineup. Only 8 combined wins from 2017 to 2020. They turned that around last year. The number 3 seed in Division II, making it all the way to the quarterfinals. An arguably better team this year, undefeated. It should be a great matchup between two of the state's very best teams.
So we mentioned how Sharon right now 5-0, the Hockomock, the Boston Globes, you should say, number 7 team in the state of Massachusetts right now. Franklin, though, 7-1. We'll give them a couple more wins to their credit after a tournament in Orlando. They are 7-1 as we're just about to get this started between the Eagles and the Panthers. First possession, it's stolen away for a moment by O'Neill, and it'll go with Franklin.
Yeah, watch early here for how the defense evolves in this game. Franklin, of course, always a strong defensive team under Coach Neely. Sharon also focuses on defense.
The starting 5 for Franklin, it features 4 seniors. Sean O'Leary with the ball right now, run by Bradley Herndon, Caden Sullivan, Andrew O'Neill, and Henry DeGiorgio. Here is Herndon, tries to go up with the right hand. Nope, rebounded away by Nate Katz-Nelson. Way more on him soon. Into left wing, the jumper 3, got it. First 3 from Anthony Pyron makes it 3-0 Sharon.
That's a good-looking shot right there. Sharon, a team that can beat you in so many different ways.
Andrew O'Neill, one of the senior captains of the team, passes to another senior captain, arguably Franklin's best player. Sean O'Leary into the paint. He got that one to roll.
That's going to be a duel between those two, Sean O'Leary and Nate Katz-Nelson down to the post. O'Leary gets the better of him right there.
O'Leary, your reigning Hockomock Player of the Year, the first junior to win that award. Committed to Bates College. Into the paint now. 3 from McLaughlin. Got it to go. We should rename that. That's Ryan Brown, the senior captain, with Sharon's second triple. O'Leary trying to get another bucket inside by himself, instead kicks it out to Sullivan. Sullivan into the paint, right-handed layup, gets the roll to go as well.
Oh, it's a tough shot by Caden Sullivan. Sharon again altering that shot down low, but a nice finish by number 1.
Sullivan's really taking over that point guard role this year. Here's Jacob McLaughlin now, and it'll be a foul on the floor by Andrew O'Neill. So it'll be Eagles' ball underneath the hoop, and they have a 2-point lead here. McLaughlin on the inbound, finds it to Pyron. Gets it back with Ryan Brown into the paint. It goes to Jaden Siegel. Siegel through the spin around, no good. Gets his own rebound, gets it back up, and a putback bucket for Sharon. Siegel's first 2 of the game. Caden Sullivan, a deep right wing 3, no good. Long rebound to Sean O'Leary. Into the paint, good bounce pass to Bradley Herndon, and can get the reverse layup to go.
Really interesting matchup right here, Ryan. All Franklin shots they've made so far have been tough looks inside, whereas Sharon a lot more comfortable shooting it outside.
Off the deflection, again It goes with Franklin. They'll say Pyron was the last to touch it. And Yanapon, this is a Sharon team not afraid to let it fly, and they did let it fly in their most recent win against Foxborough. How about this, Nippy? A program record 16 3-pointers in that game. And the Eagles so far feeling it. 2 for 2 from behind the arc here. Herndon back up to DeGiorgio. He'll try a 3-pointer. Get it. Rebound to O'Neill. On the baseline, leaves it for O'Leary. O'Leary's 3-pointer from the wing. Nope. Again, it's an offensive rebound for Andrew O'Neill. Shot clock resets, and Herndon has it into the paint. Right-handed layup. Katz-Nelson again with good defense and the rebound.
Yeah, Nate Katz-Nelson, 6'5". You can see that muscular frame.
Brown, another deep 3. This time, it's Caden Sullivan bringing it in. Fast break for Franklin. It's a 1-on-4. O'Neill will still take it. Goes to the left hand and finishes it.
Oh, stop me if you heard this one before. Franklin taking it inside and taking advantage. Andrew O'Neill, another tough take to tie things up.
4 buckets for the Panthers and 4 different scorers. This one's all knotted up at 8. McLaughlin, corner 3. Pyron. No good. Rebound to McLaughlin again. Right there on Ryan Brown. Going down to the baseline. Good pass inside and getting it to fall. No! Rebounded away. Siegel couldn't get the bounce. O'Leary into the paint. Take the contact. And he'll head to the line for 2.
Yeah, Franklin right now, Ryan, working better in transition, able to break off of that rebound, and O'Leary will have his first trip to the free throw line. Franklin trying to get their first lead of the game.
Foul goes on senior captain Jaden McLaughlin. That'll be his first. As you say, it's into the hands of Sean O'Leary to try and take the lead, and he does.
Yeah, McLaughlin committing the foul. He is another player to watch out for Sharon. In the past 3 games, he has led the Eagles in scoring, and he can kind of do it all. He's had a couple of double-doubles, double-digit assists, double-digit points. He's been all over the place, kind of quarterbacking this offense. Really someone who has led and set the standard for this Eagle team.
O'Leary makes them both. And we can hear those screams from the traveling Sharon student section. The Franklin student section, it consists of about 4 or 5 student Panthers.
I was going to say, Rattle City decided to take an off day today. Not what you want to see for a playoff caliber matchup.
Katz Nelson from top of the key, front rims and out. Rebound to O'Leary. Franklin with numbers. It's O'Leary versus Katz Nelson, and O'Leary can't get it to fall. Another good rebound inside from Katz Nelson.
Yeah, those two are absolutely sparring down there right now, Ryan.
McLaughlin working on O'Neal. Goes to the right-hand spin move, back out to Siegel. He traveled, though. And possession again upon awarded to Franklin. They've won this turnover battle so far.
Absolutely. Turnovers are going to be a huge part of this game, and they've already got 3 so far. 2 hustle plays to force out of bounds, and then the travel right there. You know, we've talked about it. Under Coach C.J. Neely, Franklin always focuses on defense, and they are bringing that intensity tonight.
Over halfway into the first quarter here. Herndon. Bounce pass, good cut from Sullivan, and can't get the finish. Rebound to O'Leary. A swarm of Eagles right into the paint. And it's Sean O'Leary headed back to the line.
Yeah, not only defense, but hustle right there. O'Leary, he was surrounded by 4 Eagles right there, Ryan, but still had the anticipation, leaped up, got the offensive rebound, and now has another trip at the line.
O'Leary, as we mentioned, the Bates College commit, leading all scorers so far with 4 points, and makes it 5 right there on the first free throw. Talked about Sharon coming off a successful year last year. Franklin winning their first Kelly Rex title last year since 2016, as O'Leary makes both of them. And they're looking to repeat, Nippy, and it starts with a game tonight against the team that's going to be in the Kelly Rex division next year. That's the Sharon Eagles.
Yeah, it's a nice preview of things to come. These 2 teams could be a nice little rivalry going forward for many years.
3-point from the top of the key, getting it to fall again is Jaden Siegel. He now leads all Eagles with 5 points. O'Leary moving quick. Goes up for the jumper. Gets to go on the layup attempt, I should say. O'Leary again not afraid to get into the paint. McLaughlin, bounce pass to Siegel again. 1 hop, and it's a charge.
Textbook defense, Ryan. Textbook play by Caden Sullivan, getting his feet set, putting his body on the line, and yet again a defensive play gets the ball back for Franklin.
Yeah, against a team that's shooting this well as Sharon is, sometimes it's the best defense you can play. Just make sure they don't even get a shot up. A couple substitutes into the game for the Eagles. None yet for the Panthers. Quarter 3, Andrew O'Neal. That one a little bit too strong. Rebound goes to Brown. McLaughlin. He's got 2 teammates posted up. You can see the size advantage right now from Sharon. Katz Nelson tries to find a cutting Brown, instead holds it himself. Katz Nelson versus O'Leary again, and they'll say no foul on O'Leary, and it goes out of bounds on Katz Nelson.
Yeah, I was saying it's a battle between those 2 right now, and the officials calling it as such. O'Leary and Katz Nelson going to work, and O'Leary once more comes off for the better.
Franklin head coach C.J. Neely goes to his bench for the first time, checking in his sophomore Justice Samuels. And back in is Herndon. Herndon, right-handed layup. Can't go again. Katz Nelson already with the rebound. He's probably got 4 or 5 rebounds so far tonight. Brown thinking about a deep 3. Instead back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin goes to the right hand. Instead back out to Brown. Corner 3-pointer. No. Rebound Off the hand, and it goes into the arms of Jackson Rava, but stolen away by Franklin. Bounce pass to DiGiorgio, right-handed finish, blocked away by Sharon. Sam Latendry gets to it. Sharon looking to reclaim the lead. They're down 12-11. McLaughlin trapped, back up to Katz Nelson. McLaughlin from the left corner. Shot clock at 15. Gets the switch she wants. Good switch by Franklin. Inside to Latendry. Sullivan on the defense. Rebound by Latendry. Gets it back up. And a putback bucket. Sam Latendry's first points of the game.
Yeah, what a sequence by Latendry right there. First the rejection.
Andrew O'Neal tried to get a quick bucket in transition. No, Herndon tries to keep it alive. Looks like he does, and into the hands of Justice Samuels.
Oh.
Left-handed layup. Franklin pulling off circus shots.
What a play right there. First, the sling from DiGiorgio O'Neal in the corner, and then the hustle to get the basket. Both teams playing their hearts out right now.
Back and forth it goes as Franklin reclaims a 1-point lead. Inside to Katz Nelson, blocked away by Justice Samuels. And it's DiGiorgio in transition now. A 3-on-4 break. DiGiorgio won't wait for it. Take a right-handed layup and can't get it to fall. Rebound to Brown.
Yeah, Franklin getting some good looks right now, Ryan, but they are early in the shot clock. Not many passes going on right now. You might see Coach Neely make an adjustment and hold on to the ball a little bit longer.
McLaughlin trying to get by Sullivan. And this time they'll say Sullivan was in the way. It's going to be an and one now for Jacob McLaughlin.
Well, right now it's big blow after big blow for both teams. They are answering each other, and we are in for a classic. Jacob McLaughlin cutting inside, getting the basket and the foul. Sharon goes back in front.
Feels like McLaughlin, who, again, as you mentioned, has kind of been the lead point as the point guard for this Sharon offense, a returning Boston Globe All-Scholastic. Feels like he's been everywhere, but that's his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah. But again, now 5 different Sharon Eagles are on the score sheet, just showing you how versatile and deep this team is.
Andrew Benoit to Andrew O'Neal inside to O'Leary. This time guarded by Latendry on the left post. Lose it for a second. It's stolen away by McLaughlin. And in transition, it's a foul on Sean O'Leary. Again, it is Sharon with the 2-point lead. And they'll have the shot clock off now with 23.3 seconds left to play in our first quarter.
Yeah, this is a big momentum play right here for both teams. Whether Sharon can expand their lead or Franklin can get a big stop heading into the second.
McLaughlin leaves it for Katz Nelson. Katz Nelson now guarded by the sophomore Justice Samuels. Gets the screen, goes for the right hand, and gets the bounce in. 8 seconds to go. Herndon in transition. 6, 5. Herndon looks for a teammate. It's knocked away by Latendry, and Franklin will have exactly 2 seconds to get off a shot.
Yeah, Katz Nelson doing what he does best right there. Using that 6'5" frame, blowing by his defenders and laying it up and in as O'Leary checks back in. We are in for a potential masterclass by Nate Katz Nelson.
What does Franklin head coach C.J. Neely draw up here? Herndon on the inbound. Movement around. Caden Sullivan, left wing 3-point shot. No. An air ball for Sullivan. He's got to move past the bench, but the Sharon Eagles clapping on the bench for good reason. They hold a 4-point lead heading into the second quarter. It's Sharon 18, Franklin 14.
Yeah, Coach Ferguson has to be happy with the way his team played right there. They did a lot of good things, whether it was on the defensive side, nice blocks, getting the ball back, passing the ball around, finding open players, and then just making those intangible plays to put them on front here in enemy territory. Sharon will lead it 18-14 after 1.
So you mentioned how it was the Sharon Eagles 5-0 on the season. They had 5 players in scoring figures so far. Well, Franklin counters with 5 of their own. Leading both teams right now is Sean O'Leary with 6 points, and then Justice Samuels, Bradley Herndon, Andrew O'Neal, and Caden Sullivan each with 2 points. And then for Sharon, as we turn it over, it's Jaden Siegel leading all scorers for the Eagles with 5 points. And alongside him, it's Ryan Brown with 3 points, Anthony Pyron with 3 points, as well as Jacob McLaughlin. And with 2, it's the junior, Sam Latendry. So, Nippon, both teams getting a lot of production from different members of their team, but it's kind of how this game has had to be played here, as it's been both squads kind of seeing their best player locked down so far, not getting every basket they want.
Yeah, something to watch out for is the 6 core values Coach Ferguson instilled in his team. Aggressive defense, physical rebounding, communication, positive body language, effort, and unselfish offense, and that's all on display here today.
Let's see if they get all 6 as I pass the play-by-play duties over to my partner in Pong Goyle.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Franklin starts it off here. It's a nice pass to O'Leary. Down to the post. Nearly got the hoop and the hurt, but he'll settle for 2 more free throws. Sean O'Leary putting his mark on this game so far. Will take 2 more free throws. He is 4 for 4 so far.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier in that first quarter, but how about the fearlessness from O'Leary, just attacking that paint every chance he gets, including going up against the 6'5" Nate Katz-Nelson.
Oh, there's a good old announcer's curse as O'Leary misses his first free throw of the night. Checking back in the game for Sharon is Anthony Perrone in for Jackson Rava. O'Leary gets a second, and he cuts the deficit back to 3. It's 15-18, Sharon in front. Here are the Eagles and Jacob McLaughlin out to Ryan Brown, excuse me. Earned it on him. Now Katz-Nelson trying to put some moves on O'Leary. Finds an open man in the wing. Back to Katz-Nelson. Nice bounce pass, Perrone, a tough angle shot, spin pass, and Andrew O'Neal saw it all the way and intercepted it.
Textbook defense again by the Panthers. Something we've seen them do all the time in that first quarter is make those turnovers happen.
O'Leary trying to spin, but Katz-Nelson covers him. They move to an open Panther in the 3. It's no good. That was Andrew Benoit putting it up, and the rebound from DeGiorgio is snatched away by Ryan Brown. McLaughlin once more slowing it down. Katz-Nelson calling for it in the post. He's got a mismatch with Benoit on him. Katz-Nelson trying to take advantage. Instead, kicks in the corner. Perrone, another 3. That's good. Anthony Perrone, his second 3 of the game, and the Eagles lead by 6.
A sharpshooter. Perrone wanted that one in the corner the whole time.
O'Leary trying to answer once more. Draws another foul. He has been a beast in the post. 2 more free throws. Franklin trying to claw themselves back in this thing.
And upon we talked about how going off a made Sharon bucket, it's been Franklin who has not really been willing to use that shot clock. But then I think what you're seeing is this Panthers team that wants to play fast, and that kind of can happen both in transition and after a bucket. But it's leading to a huge advantage at the free throw strike.
This will already be O'Leary's 8th free throw of the night alone. That's 8 for number 25, not for the team. He misses both. 2 misses for O'Leary. You rarely see that. And the deficit will stay at 6. Here comes Sharon once more, moving from right to left across your screen. This is Brown. Down they go to Katz-Nelson. Once more Benoit on him. Katz-Nelson says that's too easy, but a nice contest by Benoit and a strong rebound by O'Leary. O'Leary loses his dribble, now finds Andrew O'Neal. About a minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Franklin only has 1 point to show for it. Once more O'Leary. Man goes down. Nice find. DeGiorgio with a roll and the bucket. Henry DeGiorgio, his first 2 points of the game, and it's 21-17.
Good find there from O'Leary. It was Jacob McLaughlin kind of sneaking back and trying to get to O'Leary.
And there's an erasure by Caden Sullivan. He waves the finger and says no on Jaden Siegel. And it'll be out on Franklin, so Sharon retains possession. Another huge defensive play by the Panthers right there. Perrone back to McLaughlin. Hand off to Brown. Franklin switches. O'Leary trying to contest, but Ryan Brown, an acrobatic finish. Sharon making some tough shots here, and they still lead by 6. O'Leary trying to ram his way inside. Instead, hands to O'Neal. Andrew to the basket, got nothing on it. Perrone with some good defense. Sharon with numbers down low. McLaughlin surveys his options, now spins inside. Back to McLaughlin. Takes the deep 3, and he hits it! Jacob McLaughlin from way downtown. And the Eagles lead by 9.
Yeah, Nippy, it's been as good as advertised for the Eagles so far from behind the arc. And as you mentioned now, they're knocking on the doorsteps of a double-digit lead.
O'Leary got the basket in, but not before he's called for a travel. Another turnover, and Coach C.J. Neely needs a timeout. 5:02 to go here in the second. It's all Sharon. They lead it 26-17. What a start for this Eagles team. They have their fans traveling well, making some noise, and the Panthers can feel the pressure here. A lot of good stops forced by Sharon, and it has the Panthers in a hole early here.
Yeah, it's those three-pointers that are just putting Franklin to bed right now. And upon we've seen Pyron, he's got that hand up waving for teammates to find him in that right corner so far, just sitting there. And then when he gets it, it doesn't matter what kind of Franklin defense has been on him. It's been the senior guard hitting the shots he has to. And then Jacob McLaughlin, again, as we said, quarterbacking this whole offense. We've seen him do it a lot with passing lanes. Now he gets that and one and that top of the key three-pointer. It's what Sharon's been looking for here. Again, this is an Eagles team that has not beaten Franklin in the last 6 or 7 years at least. So Sharon, maybe a milestone that they need to cross off as they keep getting better as a program. And they're certainly on their way here with a 9-point lead so far midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, you can tell this game means a lot to Sharon. By the way, their energy is just, flowing through this building right now. All players on the same page, making excellent passes, and now with the ball, they'll have a chance to extend that lead. Brown inbounds it to McLaughlin, who's starting to get hot here in the second quarter, just hit a deep three. We'll see how Franklin changes, moving to a bit of a zone right here. As they'll kick it to Katz-Nelson, trying to make them pay for it, and he does! Nate Katz-Nelson from the corner. Sharon cannot miss right now.
You're going to want to hope that zone can get some better perimeter defense, and it just can't right there on the big-time Katz-Nelson.
DeGiorgio trying to stop the bleeding, finds O'Leary. Now O'Neal with the catch. Benoit to a cutting DeGiorgio, lost the ball, stolen by Katz-Nelson. Another stop by Sharon. And Coach Ferguson talked about this. They look for sequences of 3 straight stops. They call that a kill, killing all momentum of a team. And Franklin's momentum is just about flatlined right now.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned how that can kind of just end a team right now. And that's what it looks like so far for the Franklin offense that was getting anything it wanted earlier.
Katz-Nelson through contact, banks it up and in, waving his arms, looking for a foul, doesn't get it. But the Eagles continue their red-hot shooting. They're up by 14. Sullivan double team. He loses the ball. Kicks in the corner to DeGiorgio. Franklin needs this, and they can't get it. Rebound to McLaughlin. Sharon playing the game on their terms right now. McLaughlin, O'Leary moves on him with O'Neal trailing, but that leaves Perrone. His third triple of the night is partially deflected, and a foul is called on Sharon. Nice contest by Caden Sullivan right there to alter the shot. And the foul is called on Siegel. That's his second. He'll check out of the game, and coming in for him is number 4, Zach Wise. Sharon, a very deep and very experienced team. Only juniors and seniors on the team, no underclassmen. O'Leary getting hounded in the post right there. And they're called for a foul. Franklin will have it on the side out. Or no, yep, Franklin will have it on the baseline. Your officials for tonight, Andrew McGinnis and Bill Tagano. This is McGinnis handing it off to the Panthers. Nice look inside to Giorgio, rejected! What hustle by Ryan Brown. He's been all over the place too. And
not only is that Eagles offense picking up the palm, but how about that presence in the paint, finally allowing some defense on these Franklin shooters.
Katz-Nelson falling down as he gets the shot off. Can't get it to go. DeGiorgio, long outlet pass. Nice catch by O'Neal. Back to DeGiorgio. Trailer shot and the layup. Henry DeGiorgio, his second bucket of the game, stops the bleeding momentarily. It's still a 12-point Sharon lead. Franklin looking to get a run going here to end the half. Nice pass inside. McLaughlin blows the layup, and O'Neal secures the rebound. O'Leary out to Sullivan. Now DeGiorgio in the corner for 3. Good! Big shot by Henry DeGiorgio. And Franklin is in single digits.
And upon DeGiorgio missed that 3 in the corner earlier, all of a sudden puts on 5 straight points for the Franklin. That's what you need out of your senior.
A 5-0 run by DeGiorgio alone. Brown trying to answer. Can't do so. Hits the top of the backboard, goes out of bounds. It'll be Franklin ball, 2:15 to go. A bit of life here for Franklin. These final 2 minutes of the half will be really important going down the stretch line.
Yeah, they certainly will be, Nippon. You mentioned how it was at one point a 14-point lead for Sharon. They came in to this quarter only with a 4-point lead, so they've really built on that here over the last 6 minutes or so. And as you mentioned, if Franklin can just climb back that a little bit, maybe make it a single-digit deficit, that'd be huge going into the halftime break.
Yeah, before that 5-0 run by DeGiorgio, the Panthers were held to 3 points only in the entire quarter. They're trying to change that. DeGiorgio feeling it. Almost went in. Samuel skies high for the rebound, but can't get it to go. And it'll go right back to the Eagles. It was one of those shots halfway down and out, touched every part of the rim, but just didn't fall.
And Nippon, this is still early though, but this is when those quick possessions start to hurt you if you're Franklin. You're trying to build up some momentum, and all of a sudden you take 5 seconds off the shot clock, miss a shot, give it back to Sharon. Just can't happen as you try to build it up.
That also can't happen, leaving Katz Nelson open for 3. One of his rare misses, and Brown trying to secure the offensive rebound, fumbles it out of bounds. It'll go right back to Franklin.
Yeah, something that stayed consistent, though, for this Panthers team is the intensity on defense, whether it's in the passing lanes, getting the rebounds, or just forcing those awkward turnovers like one you just see right there on Sharon. It's been Franklin getting these possessions. They just need to convert more off of them.
1:30 to go here in the first half. DeGiorgio had a look. Now he finds Sullivan in the corner. He's short on the 3. Fight for the rebound in the hands of Brown. Sharon comes up with pace once more, leading it 31-22. Katz Nelson trying to set a screen for McLaughlin, but O'Neal switches on him. They find Brown, no hesitation for 3. And finally, it seems like the Eagles starting to go cold. What a play by McLaughlin, behind the back, and the layup! Showtime here in Sharon. Jackson Rava with a bucket.
What a find there again, and how about another turnover?
Rava again to the basket. 4 straight points for him, and just like that, the deficit is right back to 13. DeGiorgio once more. Can't answer. Rebound to Katz Nelson as we enter the final minute of the first half. The Eagles leading it by 13. Franklin had a chance to get back into it, but Sharon with some great responses.
They did, and again, Nippy, it's a quick possession for Franklin, and now it's Sharon who can get a quick shot off.
Katz Nelson, no good on the 3. DeGiorgio with the rebound, dribbles it out of bounds. It'll go right to Sharon, and O'Leary is down for Franklin. That's not a good sign for Coach C.J. Neely's crew. Slow to get up. Couldn't exactly see what happened. Took some contact in the post. It's been a battle with him and Katz Nelson and all the Eagles. He'll head to the bench for these final few seconds of the first half. We'll check in on him momentarily. In the meantime, Rava inbounds it to Ryan Brown. Sharon looking to get one more shot here in the first half. Shot clock is dark with 13 to go. Benoit McLaughlin, he's called for the foul. Franklin's first foul in the quarter. They've been disciplined, but that has not affected Sharon whatsoever. They've had their way offensively here.
Yeah, they certainly have, Nippy. We've seen them now kind of diversify some of their shot selections. At first, it was coming from these open 3s where they could find a passer. Now attacking the paint more, still having the same level of success.
10 seconds to go. They enter it to McLaughlin with 7. McLaughlin trying to drive inside. 5 to go. McLaughlin, tough shot, no good. Fight for the rebound. It goes to Franklin. 2.4 on the clock. We'll see if the Panthers can get anything to go. We'll have to cue up the circus music here. All the Panthers getting down, and O'Leary ready to check back in. He will. In for Samuels.
Yeah, even a tougher situation now, Nippy, with 2.4 seconds. You got to go the length of the court. But if Franklin can get anything, that would be huge.
Long pass. Benoit needs to put it up. He does. Oh, it almost went in. Franklin got the shot off. They couldn't make it, and they will head to the locker room with their task cut out for them. Down by 13. Your halftime score, Sharon 35, Franklin 22.
Yeah, Nippy, how about the Eagles, again, just being unfeared coming into the Franklin I Gym? This is a home game, obviously, for Franklin, their first home game in 24 days, so you knew that they were amped up for this one, but it's Sharon matching that intensity, especially with the 3-ball. It's been raining for the Eagles so far. They take a 4-point lead that comes into after the first quarter, build up to a 13-point lead Going into halftime, this is a game that's been controlled by the visitors so far, Nippon, and Franklin head coach C.J. Neely has his word cut out for him now during this halftime speech with the Panthers.
Well, we'll see what the Panthers come up with coming out of the locker room. For now, they'll have to look at that score. Sharon 35, Franklin 22. Don't go anywhere here on Franklin TV.
And we're back here on Franklin TV, where it's the visiting Sharon Eagles having their way with the Franklin boys basketball team. It's Sharon leading 35-22 as we're just about to get your second half started right here for some Monday Night Hoops on Franklin TV. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ryan Martin, joined alongside by Nippon Goyle. And Nippon, it's Sharon who hasn't beat this Franklin team in a while, but you wouldn't be able to tell here with the Eagles having some fire from behind the arc and getting it done in the paint as well.
You can tell this game means a lot to the Eagles. You can tell this is a personal game for Sharon, and they are coming to play with all sorts of players. It's not just one player doing everything. It's everyone playing as a unit, and that's evident in the score sheet. Both two players, Nate Katz-Nelson and Ryan Brown, leading away 7 points each. Jacob McLaughlin, 6 points. Anthony Perrone, 6 points. Everyone's chipping in, and that's what's leading to such a high total for Sharon, who averages just over 76 points a game.
Yeah, they are the highest scoring team in the Hockomock League this year, and the Davenport League's favorite. Their last year in the Davenport League before they transitioned to the Kelly Rex League, which will be a fascinating matchup to see these two teams go at it twice a year. And you mentioned those leading scorers for Sharon. It's also a pair of Panthers who lead Franklin with 7 points. It's Henry DeGiorgio and Sean O'Leary each with 7. As the second half is underway here from the Franklin High Gymnasium. On the court to start for Franklin. Again, it's their starting 5 that they brought out as this one goes inside to Siegel. Siegel can't get it. Three-pointer from Katz-Nelson off the back rim. It goes to Caden Sullivan. Sullivan to DeGiorgio. Top of the key. Got it! Kevin Henry DeGiorgio, I should say. He got on fire late in that second quarter and starts the Panthers off with the 3 to cut the lead to 10.
Yeah, he's been the one that's kind of had his way in the scoring sheet for Franklin, really making those shots go down.
Katz-Nelson with the offensive board off the glass, gets it to fall, the 6'5 center.
Yeah, he's kind of done everything right there.
Herndon in transition. The 1-2, can't get it to go. Rebound again to Katz-Nelson.
Yeah, he did everything right but make the bucket right there. Coming with speed, a nice Euro step to get to the hoop, but he left it short.
McLaughlin left-handed layup. Rebound to DeGiorgio. And again, it's Franklin off and running. DeGiorgio tried to draw the foul right there as McLaughlin guarding him all the way down the court. Sullivan, corner 3 for Andrew O'Neal from the left. No good. Rebound to Herndon. Herndon back up to Sullivan. He'll think about a 3, but a wide open paint and a right-handed finish for the junior.
Yeah, it's not that often with the Sharon team you'll see an open paint right that. Good job by Caden Sullivan taking advantage of it and cutting the lead to 10.
And it's a 10-point lead. McLaughlin inside, back out to Pyron. Thinks about the 3, right corner. Bowen's 3, Brown's free, I should say. Rebound to Pyron. Katz-Nelson will try one from the left wing. Can't get it to go. Double rims it. And back to DeGiorgio on the rebound.
You can tell Franklin has made an emphasis on securing rebounds right there so fast.
Sullivan, a 3-pointer. Yes! The junior with 5 straight points for Franklin, and it forces an Eagles timeout. For the first time since early in the second quarter, it's a single-digit lead for the Sharon Eagles, 37-30.
What a start here by Franklin. They have come with the right mindset and the right intensity to start this thing off. On defense, you see at least 2 Panthers running to the ball every time. On offense, with speed, they are passing with purpose. Not quick shots, not one player taking everything. They're finding open players, and that's what leading to those makes. Franklin within 7. They need to keep playing this way.
Yeah, it has been Franklin who's now scored 8 points in less than 2 minutes to get this one rolling. It's 3 apiece for Henry DeGiorgio and Caden Sullivan. DeGiorgio adds a layup as well to go with it. Or I should say Sullivan adds a layup to go with it. He's got 5 points of his 7 now in the third quarter. And upon maybe the biggest thing, though, is that after every Franklin basket, it feels like they got a sense of momentum. This home gym erupts a little bit, but then right back in transition goes Sharon. And we keep mentioning it. It's Franklin with a bucket, then Sharon. Then Franklin cuts it back to 10, but they have to get some defensive stops to match those offensive buckets.
Yeah, Sharon is a team that will push the pace not only on offense but on defense, and that's been evident today. They play fast. Franklin has to match that. Any mental lapse is going to cost them, so they need to stay on their heels every time. It's not like Sharon hasn't gotten good looks right here in the second half. They're just not making their shots, but that's not going to stay the case for the rest of the game, so the Panthers need to stay focused.
Franklin matching the full court pressure with Andrew O'Neal. Now backpedaling with Jacob McLaughlin up the court. McLaughlin switched on to by DeGiorgio. They're bringing the double team. That leaves Katz-Nelson open from the top of the key. Can't get it to fall, though. Rebound to DeGiorgio. Sullivan wide open in transition. The quarterback passes a touchdown and a bucket for Caden Sullivan.
They should put 6 on the scoreboard instead of 2 right there. Beautiful pass from Henry all the way to Caden, and the Panthers continue their run. They're within 5.
All of a sudden, it's, as you mentioned, just a 5-point deficit for Franklin. Here's Siegel inside to Katz Nelson. A one-footed jump, and one for the senior.
What a way to steal momentum back. Katz Nelson, they're feeding him. His shots aren't falling from beyond the arc, so what does he do? Take it inside, get big, uses his 6'5" frame to get the basket and the foul, trying to expand the Sharon lead.
Katz Nelson now up to, as we just add that one there, 12 points to lead all scores. It's back to an 8-point lead, 40-32 in favor of Sharon. Herndon gets it to O'Neal, thinks about it from the right wing, instead goes to the paint. Leaves it for Herndon, big time up, but rebound again to Katz Nelson.
Yeah, Franklin had a great play right there. O'Neal with a nice vision to find Herndon, but he just couldn't get it to go.
McLaughlin down the left paint, takes it way out to Brown. Katz Nelson, is he hot still? No. Leaves it for a second, and over the back goes Jaden Siegel. But will they call that one instead on Franklin for pulling out the chair on the rebound upon?
Yeah, I was going to say it looked more of a foul on Sharon, if anything. In my opinion, just let that play out right there, but an interesting call. The Franklin crowd not liking that. Coach Neely moving to talk to the official, but Franklin will have to face this adversity and put it with their head and get a stop right here.
I believe that was Herndon who picked it up. Might have been O'Leary, as O'Leary checks out of the game once more. Inbound it goes to Brown. Inside to Katz Nelson. Good find. Samuel's guarded. Swung around. Brown, three-pointer from the key. No, back rims it. Rebound to Samuels. Sullivan to Herndon. Had DeGiorgio for a minute. Now back to Sullivan. DeGiorgio, right corner. Can he get it? No, back rims it. But again, a rebound for a second. But here's Sharon in transition. Katz Nelson on the break. Right-handed finish. Gets it to go.
Yeah, both teams in transition right now are just having their way. Katz Nelson right there. Franklin had a man right there for a second as well.
Spin move for Herndon. Gets it poked away. And they'll say going inside should be Rava. And it is Rava picking up his second foul of the day.
Yeah, I like the mindset, though. Just the active hands by Sharon looking for a jump ball.
Sullivan off the inbound, leaves it for O'Neal. Right wing, he'll try a jumper mid-range at front rims and into McLaughlin to start the break. They'll slow it down with a 10-point lead as the Sharon Eagles having their way with Franklin so far. McLaughlin to an E. They'll go left-handed on O'Neal, creating the separation, but it's because it was a foul.
Yeah, that was pretty evident right there. McLaughlin, the clear extension of the arm. O'Neal sent flying back. He'll pick up his foul. And Franklin, as we hit the halfway point here in the third quarter, really need to get something going. They had it within 5. They're back to down 10. They need to cut this into single digits before the quarter ends.
So the kind of defensive turnovers, however you can get possession back, Franklin does. Now you just have to start making the baskets to go with it. DeGiorgio had some space, right-handed floater, nothing but net for the senior.
Yeah, if Henry DeGiorgio's feeling it right now, I say keep it going. He has consistently hit shots for Franklin right now. This might be a game where you need to get on his back on the offensive side.
DeGiorgio leads all Panthers with 12. Katz Nelson to McLaughlin. McLaughlin again guarded by O'Neal. Find inside for Brown, he'll leave it for Rava. Rava from the right corner. No, rebound to Andrew O'Neal. O'Neal to Herndon, he's got Sullivan to his left, finds him in. Down the baseline goes Sullivan, loses it, and picked up by McLaughlin. McLaughlin with the ball and an 8-point lead. They'll find it inside. Leaving them open is Latendry, but rebound goes to Benoit, and add the foul too as Ryan Brown reaches in.
Yeah, huge stop by Franklin. Could have been a 4-point swing with the turnover from Sullivan on one end and a potential made basket, but they're able to stick tight, get the stop, and have a chance to cut the lead down to 6.
Time out for a second. There might be blood.
Yeah, that's what it looks
on
like.
Jacob McLaughlin. Looks like it could be the right knee. And Andrew Ferguson, the head coach of the Sharon Eagles, in his 9th season will call a timeout with his boys while that's happening as Sharon has, again, an 8-point lead. 42-34 your score here. On Franklin TV, Ryan Martin alongside Nippon Goyle. And Nippon, it's been Franklin who's so far outscored Sharon in this third quarter. Franklin has put on, if I can do the math quickly, 12 points of their own. Sharon's only put on 7, but it still feels like this is a game that Sharon is in control because of the cushion they built up.
Yeah, Sharon just had such a good second quarter. They put so much distance between them and the Panthers that Franklin needs to do a lot of work to try and, get this lead down. They've done a lot of that work right now, but it seems like every time Franklin has an inch and gets one of that back, Sharon has a response of their own, hitting big shot after big shot. So Franklin really needs to play a pretty much perfect game down the stretch to have a chance in this thing.
I think you mentioned it right there. It's the response with the offense, too. We've seen lapses where Sharon just can't defend the three maybe from Franklin, or I think we've seen a couple times a Panther wide open into the paint and they get an easy layup to go. But instead of responding maybe quickly and rushing a shot like we've seen Franklin do, it's Sharon just responding and then getting back that lead that they had previously before the Franklin bucket, making that deficit kind of stay consistent.
And it's also evident the Nate Katz-Nelson effect for Sharon on the offensive side. What he does is so much, not just making shots. He draws Panthers' attention. So you're worried about him. That leaves an open player in the corner for a three, and that comes back to bite you.
And how about Franklin's version of their Nate Katz-Nelson's been? Sean O'Leary's been pretty quiet. Only 7 points, went 1 of 4 from the free throw line in the second quarter. No points since then, and no field goals since the first quarter. And that turnover won't help Franklin there. With still an 8-point lead, it's now Sharon in offensive possession.
Now, you mentioned how the turnovers are going to play a role in who wins this game in the first half. Now it's Sharon trying to take advantage of that.
How about scooping underneath? Is Nate Katz-Nelson with the bucket. Brings the lead back to 10 for Sharon. Herndon quickly after will draw a foul on Rava. He's got to watch out now. That is already his third. Watching out is Coach Andrew Ferguson. He'll check out of the game Rava. Into the game is senior center Zach Wise. Right corner, Andrew Benoit. Leaves it for a moving Sullivan. Sullivan to the paint, tries to get it to Benoit, stolen away by Katz-Nelson.
3 straight turnovers for Franklin right here. Now what you want to see.
McLaughlin trying to signal Wise away. Creates some space in the paint for Brown, who goes up with it. Good idea, but instead it's DeGiorgio with the rebound. A 3-on-3 break. DeGiorgio, left wing three-pointer. Yes! Henry DeGiorgio nails that three-pointer. And Hank is up to 15 points.
Yeah, get on his back. He is making his shots. He's feeling it tonight. Franklin need a big fourth quarter out of him.
Katz-Nelson into the paint. He'll draw the foul. Another and one for the senior Katz-Nelson.
Oh, he has gotten into it in the second half. Just in the post, doing his thing. Through contact, Nate Katz-Nelson, my goodness.
Katz-Nelson now with 9 of his 16 points coming in the third quarter. Can he make that 10 of 17 here with this free throw? That would put Sharon back up by 10. He can't. Still a 9-point lead for the Eagles. Herndon in transition. Makes Brown touch the ground. And rebound, though, goes back to Franklin. O'Neal into the paint. Back out to Sullivan. Big momentum three-pointer. No. Rebound to Herndon. Herndon dribbles it, but now fouled away by McLaughlin, and not happy with that one.
Yeah, he can't be, because that could have been a huge turnover. It looked like he made him into a contact, but what a sequence from Bradley Herndon. Even though he didn't make the basket, just staying active, keeping the possession alive for Franklin, and now he will be at the line with Franklin in the bonus in the final minute 20 of this third.
Herndon, his first trip to the line in this one. The senior that's taken on a big role for this Franklin team this season. And he's got his third point. Substitution into the game for Sharon. Out is Zach Wise. And back in is the sharpshooter, senior Anthony Pyrone. And missing the second one is Herndon. Nippon, something we're seeing here is Jacob McLaughlin brings it up the court. Sean O'Leary about to check into the game for Franklin. He's been cold offensively, but you wonder what his presence could just mean defensively guarding Nate Katz-Nelson.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like he's had his way with the smaller Panthers down low.
Rebound goes to Sullivan. Here's a 2-on-2 break. He's running with Herndon. Sullivan takes it himself and gets him to fall. An emphatic layup.
That is a tough shot by Caden Sullivan. Franklin has it down to 6 now. Could have gotten contact as well. And here we come, the crucial final minute of this third quarter.
Sullivan, 9 of his 11 points have now come in the third quarter. Latendry worked on by DeGiorgio. His hands everywhere. Chiron back to Brown.
Katznelson's calling for it.
And a whistle here, and the crowd goes dead quiet trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah, it was kind of a moment of bewilderment. Everyone was saying, for what reason? We may have had a clock issue. It didn't seem like it, but now they do reset the clock.
Well, they were pointing to the right corner of the gymnasium. I'm not sure. Oh, we do have a new scoreboard here, a new scoreboard. It looks like we can't even see it.
Yeah, us washed-up alumni, we don't know the thing that goes on in the Franklin gym.
I remember the days where they didn't even wear these uniforms, and they were in the ones the JV team's wearing now. All that jazz. Shot clock's still on. McLaughlin will take it himself for the layup and get it over Caden Sullivan. Shot clock off now for Andrew O'Neal. 21 seconds left as Franklin down by 8. O'Leary back into the game, and he's guarded by Latendry. Good pass inside to DeGiorgio. Gets it with the left hand. And they're riding on that back, as you say, Nippon. DeGiorgio with 17.
Last possession here. Franklin needs to stop.
McLaughlin. Back left, Latendry. Now corner 3. Can't go. Rebound to Brown. Tries to get it up, but can't. And Franklin will win that quarter. A tough physical one, especially at the very end. But it's the Panthers coming in down 14. They'll exit out 6. And upon it's kind of come with maybe some more consistent shooting and their defensive play staying solid.
Absolutely, Ryan. We are in for one heck of a fourth quarter. If you thought that was physical, wait till this final 8 minutes. But Franklin, as you said, has put themselves in position to take this game away. They came in down 13, shaved 7 points off of that, now have it within 2 scores, and they're playing hard on both ends. You have to imagine that the presence of Sean O'Leary down in the post is going to have an effect on Nate Katznelson. He was really dominating in the third quarter. He's going to try and make it a lot harder on number 32 now.
Yeah, we can kind of see, too, how this is starting to become a game in which you have one player for each team kind of working through the offense here. And we thought that might be Sean O'Leary for Franklin. It's not. It's Henry DeGiorgio with 17 points so far to lead the Panthers, but then maybe it was the expected cat, we should say, pun intended, for Nate Katznelson and the Sharon Eagles. Katznelson so far, we saw he had 2-and-1 opportunities here. You can count him up. He's been leading Sharon so far at 9, 11, 13, 15 points so far to lead Sharon. And we'll see how both of them can perform over our final 8 minutes.
Absolutely. It's been a duel. DeGiorgio has 16 points to his name as well, so we might have a duel between number 10 and number 32 to decide who comes on top in this thing.
Should be an exciting 8 minutes, and to bring you it all, the most exciting voice in Franklin, I pass it over to my partner, Nippon Goyle.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Franklin starts it off, moving right to left across your screen. The Panthers in their home white uniforms with the Carolina blue numbers and the navy blue trim. DeGiorgio carries it back to Andrew Benoit. Sean O'Leary was double-teamed for a moment, so Caden Sullivan has it at the top of the key. Andrew O'Neal with the Sharon crowd getting loud. DeGiorgio out to O'Neal. O'Neal still moves. Shot clock is down at 10. DeGiorgio just pulls up a tough jumper, rattles in. Henry DeGiorgio can't miss right now, and Franklin is within 4.
Big bucket right now to bring the Panthers even closer. They've inched so far in the pond, but now they got to make sure that they can make those baskets matter with making defensive stops.
Katznelson, he was the star of the show in the third. Spins inside, and an offensive foul! Katznelson, hands on his head, is bewildered by the call, but Franklin, a huge turning point, gets the ball right back.
And upon Franklin's been creating possession in all sorts of weird ways today, and it comes now with another travel call. Can Franklin make this a one-score game?
This is DeGiorgio. He's led the way. Bounces it to Benoit. O'Leary trying to get involved at the top of the key. Thought about the 3. Now drives inside. Still trying to put moves in the post. O'Leary through contact. No good. The tip by Sullivan almost went in. Sharon once more breaks it with speed. McLaughlin with a trailing Sullivan, and he reaches in, gets contact, and draws the foul. Second foul for Caden Sullivan. And Sharon will have it on the baseline, on the sideline, excuse me. 48-44. What a game here in Franklin between two of the state's best teams.
And upon talk about living up to the hype so far as we enter the fourth quarter.
What a take by McLaughlin. Oh my goodness! Jacob McLaughlin, a crowd silencer. As O'Leary is once more slow to get up. He gets the hoop and the hurt and a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, again, it looks like O'Leary banged up here, but McLaughlin coming in emphatically. Again, upon it's O'Leary being substituted out of the game for another big. We've seen Andrew Benoit, Justice Samuels playing huge minutes right now with Franklin star Sean O'Leary. He's getting beat up there in the post, and he's going to have trainer Jen looking at him once more.
Yeah, Franklin's really missing their star right down there as the lead for Sharon is back up to 7. A huge three-point play right there. Panthers trying to answer. DeGiorgio thought about the three on the near wing. Instead, floats it up, gets it short off the front rim, and a rebound taken by Rava. McLaughlin trying to throw it off Sullivan. Sullivan gets it back and draws the foul. What a huge defensive play by Caden Sullivan. Keeps it in bounds, gets the steal, and now is at the free throw line.
Yeah, it's those extra effort plays that we've seen a couple from by both teams so far in the palm, but you want to see more from Franklin with this deficit right now. And they turn to their junior point guard, Caden Sullivan, to get it right there.
Sullivan switches the first. Talk about being aware of your positioning on the court and just making a play right there. That was a good, smart play by McLaughlin, trying to bounce it off Sullivan to force the turnover and give Sharon the ball right back. But instead, Sullivan, being aware, doesn't let it go out of bounds, takes it away, and now is trying to cut the lead back to 5. He does so. 46-41, Sharon leads with 6:23 to go. Rava inbounds it to Ryan Brown. Now it's Rava again. Sullivan with the pressure. Here comes O'Neal, tied up, and the foul called. Franklin looking for the jump ball, but instead O'Neal will be called for the personal.
Just going to mention that, Nepal, we haven't seen any jump balls so far here today, so Franklin brings in that double team pressure on their attacking offensive side of half court. It doesn't work out for the foul, though.
Here comes Rava with speed, draws another foul. Sullivan frustrated right there. 2 quick fouls for Sharon, and it will be a shooting foul, so Jackson Rava heads the charity stripe.
I believe, is that now the 4th one already on Sullivan after the quick 2, or is that only 3?
I'm not sure if that foul right there was on Andrew O'Neal. If it was on Sullivan, that would be 4, and that would be very dangerous for Franklin, as Sullivan would be one more away from heading out, one of Franklin's premier defensive players. Rava hits the first. Misses the second, rebound taken by O'Neal. And Franklin has a chance to shave some more points off it. Throws off Samuels back. He didn't see the pass coming, but DeGiorgio right there to save the day. O'Neal back to Henry. No hesitation. 3. It's no good. Fight for the rebound. Sullivan again. Through contact. The basket is no good. They wave it off. They say the foul is on the floor. But once more, Caden Sullivan, his presence just emulating throughout this Franklin gym.
Yeah, how about doing the little things too? Sullivan, again, we mentioned those high effort plays right there. A big offensive rebound.
Hernan to inbound. It finds open Samuels. Banks it up and in. Nice shot by Justice Samuels. He's got 4 and the lead's down to 4. Rava's pressured by 2 Panthers, nearly taken away by DeGiorgio. Brown goes in the corner. No hesitation. Pull up 3. No good. Katz Nelson tracks his own rebound. Out to an open Ryan Brown. And he can't connect either. Skying high is Caden Sullivan once more. Franklin with numbers with 5.5 to go. Sullivan trying to take it himself. Coast to coast, it's good! Caden Sullivan and the steal. Sullivan, tie it. He is all over the place. Once more is blocked, and a foul. Caden Sullivan is a madman.
Sullivan cannot be stopped right now, Nippon. This is a game where Franklin's seniors have kind of had their way, and the junior making his presence come alive right now. And now, Nippon, the biggest free throws we've seen so far. It's Caden Sullivan with a chance to tie this one.
Franklin found itself down 14 halfway through the second quarter, and they are 2 points away from tying it up once more. Good on the first.
And this game has not been tied since midway through that first quarter, as we were just talking about. And Sullivan, now the junior, with the chance.
We'll let the crowd tell you the result. We'll let the crowd tell you the result. Caden Sullivan, not asleep, gets the lead for Franklin, 53-52, 5:13 to go. What a play!
7-0 run for the Panthers right now.
Sharon trying to respond. Rava for three. No good. Rebound taken by Siegel. Down low in the post. Banks it up. Banks it in. And the Eagles retake the lead. O'Leary right through everyone. Henry DeGiorgio is cutting through this Sharon defense like a knife through hot butter. 55-54 Franklin. 4:44 to go. Rava with the double team applied. They nearly got it back. Instead, he moved into the corner. Contested jumper goes in. And it's big blow after big blow. Latender answers, and the Eagles lead it with 4.5 to go. Herning trying to space. Sullivan, open, three. No good. Samuels fights and gets the rebound. Franklin just wants it more at this time. And a shove and a foul called. The Franklin bench is exasperated right there. Brown with some nice acting to fall down, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, definitely a heat check there for Caden Sullivan. Feels like he's unstoppable, so tries it from a different area code there on the right wing. Another great offensive rebound, though, for Justice Samuels. And that, as you mentioned, maybe a bit of selling there so far for Sharon to get the foul, but that is a big foul on Sullivan, as it should be his fourth foul of the game. Talk about a player coming alive right now for Franklin. We're seeing the emotion that Sullivan's playing with, but he's now playing with that emotion in 4 fouls. Absolutely
fearless play from Caden Sullivan as Sean O'Leary checks back in. It hasn't been his night, but a few minutes at the end is all it takes to become the hero. Sharon in the double bonus now, only halfway through the fourth quarter. That is something to watch out for. Any foul by Franklin here, and they'll be headed to the charity stripe. Siegel at the top of the key enters it to Katz Nelson, working in on Samuels. Katz Nelson, too big, too strong, gets two. Katz Nelson is over 20 now, and Sharon leads it by 3. The handoff to O'Leary, back to Sullivan, trying to change direction quickly. He gets it knocked away. It's stolen by Sharon. Here comes McLaughlin in the corner, faking the three as Brown, taking it to the hoop, and he misses the layup. Rebound, no good by Katz Nelson, and it's taken by Samuels. That was Siegel, excuse me. O'Leary once more. Franklin down 3. The offense just trying to space out right here. O'Leary trying to take it itself. The contact is made, and it stays with Franklin. But the active hands of Sharon really making it tough on this Franklin team. And Coach C.J. Neely will talk about it. We've got a fantastic finish headed for you. 3:18 to go. It's Sharon 58, Franklin 55.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we could have forecasted this kind of finish or what we're set up for right now over the final 3 minutes, 18 seconds. As you just said, if we were looking at this game midway through the second quarter, it was Sharon with a 14-point lead at one point, but Franklin slowly but surely has come back. It's been the likes of Henry DeGiorgio, Caden Sullivan making this happen for the Panthers, who are now well positioned, but I think you start to have to be playing strategically right now if you're head coach C.J. Neely. We talked about the fouls that we're seeing on Caden Sullivan. Do you take him out now for 90 seconds and then bring him back in to try and really get the crunch time without treating if he fouls out earlier than that? Or do you say that this is a 3-point game right now and this is the time to attack, and we'll let the last couple minutes hopefully be garbage time with if you're Franklin trying to just dwindle down the clock and a lead. So decision time right now in the huddle for Coach C.J. Neely, but I would like to see him play a little bit more conservative with the ball here too. We've seen the ball get poked out a couple times for the Panthers.
Yeah, another thing you might be telling it, most importantly, take care of the ball, but also we've got a lot of time left, guys. 3:18 to go. It's a 3-point game. We don't need all of that back in one play. No need to rush a shot, take a contested jumper. Let's get our passing going, get an easy bucket, and go back, play defense, do our thing, and push right back. We'll see what he draws up coming out of this timeout. 5 on the floor are O'Neal, Samuels, O'Leary, Sullivan, and DeGiorgio. O'Leary inbounds, finds DeGiorgio, hesitates, 3, nylon! Henry DeGiorgio does the opposite of what I said, and we are tied at 58.
DeGiorgio up to 23 points to lead all scores. He's needed the big threes, and he's gotten them.
21 for Henry DeGiorgio. Katz Nelson with Samuels on him. O'Leary moves on. In the corner, they find Siegel for the lead. No good. Banked up by Brown. It's no good. Ferguson wanted contact. On the other one, Franklin, Sullivan, the lead. 60-58 Franklin, 2:40 to go.
Quick in transition. It's been Franklin's bread and butter all day, and finally starting to pay off now with their first lead since the first quarter.
Sharon goes back to the three. Rava for the lead. It rims out, and the rebound taken by Samuels.
Got to have that mindset, though, Nippon, if you're Sharon. Still a lot of time for both teams.
O'Leary trying to put his mark on this game. Works around. Now gives it back to DeGiorgio. Long three. Oh, it's short. And Franklin might want that possession back. That was a chance to expand their lead. And instead, Sharon can tie or take the lead as we head to the final 2 minutes of this game. McLaughlin putting the moves on O'Neal. Andrew sticks with him. Swings in the corner. Intercepted. It's picked off by Henry DeGiorgio.
Making up for that missed three Nippon and pulling off the turnover now. Franklin with a chance to make it a two-possession game in their favor for the first time since early in that first quarter.
A minute 42 on the game clock, 22 on the shot clock. Franklin can run a lot of time off this thing, up by 2. DeGiorgio through contact, hands off to Samuels on the wing. Now O'Leary at the top of the key. Shot clock down to 10. O'Leary makes his move, drives inside, through contact, it's good! Number 25 has finally entered the game, and Franklin leads it by 4.
You mentioned Nippon, one or two baskets can make you the hero in this moment. And right there for O'Leary, making it a 4-point game. That was a huge one for the captain.
Katz-Nelson steps back for 3. It's no good. The rebound taken by DeGiorgio. Do we have a foul on Franklin? O'Leary cannot believe it. He is called for the foul, and Jason Siegel will head to the free throw line for 2 massive free throws. It looked like a clean play right there. A lot of players bouncing around, fighting for that ball. And it's Jaden Siegel. Hit a 3 early on, has been quiet since. With a minute, 5 seconds to go. Misses the first. Franklin retains a 4-point lead. If Siegel can make the second, it will become a 1-score game.
And upon you need at least one here. Now we talked about how much time is left, just 65 seconds now. You need to get one to make it a 1-score game.
Massive free throw for Siegel. Can't get it to go. O'Leary, what a box out, and that lets O'Neal secure the rebound.
Huge box out too for O'Leary, making the plays most when it matters.
We're into the 32nd minute of this one. Franklin leads at 62-58. The defender fell down, and O'Leary will just hang on to it with 20 on the shot clock. DeGiorgio, it's been his game so far. Out to O'Leary, had a man in the corner. O'Leary himself, and an offensive foul. Getting big and drawing that right there is Jackson Rava. O'Leary once more on the deck. It seems like he's been there almost every play. And once more, he's slow to get up. What a heroic effort it's been by Sean O'Leary.
I was just going to say, for O'Leary, it feels like he's a running back who's just running it right up the gut every single play. It's just on the deck every time for O'Leary. And it will look like he will be okay. They're going to check in Andrew Benoit for him.
Yeah, you can tell that he doesn't want to come out in this moment, in this final minute. But, of course, the health of Franklin's star player matters a lot more down the line. And Coach C.J. Neely will make that call and trust his younger player in Andrew Benoit. Sharon with 38 to go. They need a bucket right here to stay in this thing. Katz-Nelson on the wing, out to Siegel. Rava has a look, pulls for 3. Oh, it's no good. Those shots have been falling in for Sharon all day, but now they can't. And the foul committed on Andrew O'Neal. This Franklin crowd getting loud, knowing that they're 28.1 seconds away from a massive victory.
And upon we saw that stretch in which Franklin scored 7 straight points to kind of take this lead, or at least bring it close to a tie, and then a bit back and forth. But now it's Franklin who's now scored again 7 points with the chance to make it 8, and they do right now. The Panthers, that consistency has come when it matters really a lot in this game.
O'Neal makes the first to extend the lead to 5, 63-58 with 28.1 to go. 2 beauties. Andrew O'Neal, cold as ice at the free throw line. And Coach Ferguson calls timeout. Sharon now has their work cut out for them, down by 6. What a turnaround it's been in this fourth quarter, Ryan.
I'm going to say just flipping on ahead right now is Franklin, who has been making their shots, but I think it's been the aggressiveness in the paint on both ends. We've seen them take a couple of those tough plays, and sometimes it's even a foul on them, like that O'Leary charge right there where he kind of drove it into the paint. They're taking these hard plays, but then I think the rebounding and then the plays inside on the offensive end have been really strong, and why Franklin is finally at a 6-point lead, their largest lead of the game so far.
Well, they have a 6-point lead. They've done all they can to put themselves in a good position, but it's still not over yet. There's still not 3 zeros on the clock. Sharon is alive. They've hit tough shots before. Katz Nelson has been a beast getting those fouls, so Franklin has to stay alert on defense.
And the biggest thing, too, is that this is still a 2-score game. 6 points. Again, that's obviously only 2 3-pointers, and this is a Sharon team that loves to shoot the long ball. We saw it. That's why they built up that lead in the first half. Again, they hit a program record 16 3-pointers a game ago against Foxborough, and now they need 2 here over the final 28 seconds.
Rava with the inbound to McLaughlin. He takes it up across the midcourt stripe. Finds Katz Nelson at the top of the key. Time's running out for Sharon. He spins inside. Contested 3. Good! Oh, my goodness, Nate Katz Nelson. And the immediate foul by Brown. Like you said, Ryan, a 2-score game, now a 1-score game. But now O'Neal will try to change that with some more free throws. What a shot by Nate Katz Nelson. He has done it all.
Yeah, this is a guy we were hyping up pregame, and someone head coach Andrew Ferguson for Sharon was kind of telling us about pregame as someone who could really take over a game. Again, in their opener against Taunton, 47 points, the second most in Sharon history, is what Katz Eagle did. Not having that total, but I think against a team that's as defensively sound as Franklin is, Katz Nelson can call this one a successful day at the office, especially if they can come back down only 3.
Huge free throw here for O'Neal. Got it! Makes it a 4-point game, 14.5 to go. McLaughlin enters it once more. We go with 10 seconds to play with a spin move inside. DeGiorgio knocks it away, has the ball, and draws the foul! Emphatic DeGiorgio salutes to the Sharon student section, and he will head to the free throw line trying to put this thing on ice for Franklin.
Yeah, DeGiorgio contributing in the scoring column, but how about these 2 late fourth quarter steals for the senior Northeastern baseball commit? It's like stealing a base, except only better right now as you're about to cap this one off. And if DeGiorgio can, again, just extend this lead, it will still be a 2-possession game, but to make 2 threes in 6 seconds in the pond is not an easy feat.
Well, Coach Ferguson still pleading his case. He was irate at that action by Henry DeGiorgio, saying, how is that not a technical foul? Of course, official Bill Tagano going in and speaking to him. In the meantime, this is DeGiorgio at the line shooting 2. This is the first. Sharon still in this, still with a flicker of a heartbeat with 6.5 to go. Coach Ferguson does have 2 timeouts. You'll imagine he'll call it after this free throw. And DeGiorgio makes a second. No timeout. We play the final 6. Out to Rava. It's tipped away by DeGiorgio. It stays with Sharon. The game clock only down to 3.2. And DeGiorgio is grabbing at his feet. Not what you want to see in the final seconds of this game. Hopefully, he's all right. Ravit inbound with a final 3.2. Out to McLaughlin. Steps back. Long range 3 at the buzzer. No good. The clock hits triple zeros, and that will do it. Heart, intensity, hustle. A textbook Franklin Panther win. Down from 14, they come back in the 4th and snatch a win from the Sharon Eagles. What a performance, Ryan.
How about this fourth quarter? This is what the kind of games that will matter in the postseason upon when. How do you have success against teams that come into your house undefeated? It's been 24 days again since Franklin was able to kind of have their home cooking here, but boy, did they treat the crowd here to a fourth quarter comeback, a delight. Henry DeGiorgio, Caden Sullivan, even a bit of Sean O'Leary there gets it done for Franklin, who pick up a huge win now, 66-61. They get it done here, and Franklin proving the victors again over the Sharon Eagles, who now have their first loss of the season.
Yeah, it was a great season for Sharon. Still is. You can tell this team is talented. One of the top contenders in Division II. And both these teams will do it again next year, not once, but twice. What a rivalry this should be in the coming years. You know Sharon will want this one back after this performance got away from them.
Yeah, absolutely. For Sharon, it's actually a really big game that they got coming up in Nepal. Not to preview just too far ahead, but Sharon, we talked about the Davenport division. They will play Mansfield on Thursday. That's going to be a battle of 6-0 Mansfield now versus 5-1 Sharon, kind of the two top teams in the Davenport League, so we'll see what happens there. But for Franklin, who now goes from playing an undefeated team to playing a winless team in 0-6 North Attleboro on Thursday, two teams that could certainly see each other later in the season possibly.
That should be a great game, and this season will tread on for Franklin, but they should feel good about this one, and they'll be celebrating. Once more, we thank you so much for watching and tuning in for the final time. For my partner, Ryan Martin, and our entire crew at Franklin TV, I'm the Pond Boyle saying thank you for watching, so long, and see you next time.